Hey, Lou Nolan here, and this is the Fans View at Hanrahan's Irish Pub here in Delco. We're going to have a ton of fun tonight and talk a lot of hockey.
All right, folks, let's give it up for our guest. How about it, Lou Nolan? All right, what did I miss? Let's give it up for our guest, Lou Nolan, please.
Thank you.
All right, we're back, as you can see. Another month has gone past, but this is a good one. 50 years of Flyers hockey sitting right next to me. How about that? We've got a special occasion, and it's a special event. All money raised tonight goes to the Ed Snyder Youth Foundation Hockey, which is, I don't have to explain it. Lou, why don't you say a few words about it?
Sure. The Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation is Ed's legacy, and Ed was a very special man. It is basically designed to work with at-risk kids and inner-city kids. It started out with the 5 hockey rinks that are in the city that were probably fairly derelict, and they were all remodeled, and kids begin to play hockey, and they also study. There are computers, there are labs, and in order for them to be able to play hockey and continue to play hockey, they have to keep up their studies. So that was key. And I do know that 93% of the children that get involved in the Youth Hockey Foundation programs graduate high school, and many of them go on to full college scholarships. There's now a program for that. So it's my favorite thing, and it is absolutely fabulous. I met a young lady at the golf tournament, the Snyder Hockey Golf Tournament, and she was sitting with me, and I said, "How do you fit into this?" She said, "Well, I'm at Westchester now, and I'm the captain of the ladies hockey team. And, I was a Snyder kid, and I never played hockey, and I learned how and studied hard. I got a full scholarship to Westchester. And then later I found out that they won the national championship."
Nice.
Fantastic. I can't say enough about it. Just fabulous.
Excellent. So we got a lot going on tonight. First, I want to introduce If These Walls Could Talk. This book is available. Lou has written it. It's got a lot of great stories. It's available. See Lauren. Lauren can make that happen, and Lou will sign it afterwards. So get with her on that. It's pretty cool. There's some good stories in there. I read it on the beach last summer. So for me to read a book, it's got to keep my interest. So it's definitely there. A couple other things. The raffles. 2 free tickets. All of the money, the extra money that's raised tonight, goes back to the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey. We're looking to write another big check. We wrote one for $2,500 2 weeks ago. I would love to get there again. So you guys can help out. There's some beautiful prizes over there. They're all going to go out the front door, right, Jimmy?
Right. I think Jimmy signed up a bunch of them.
Let's give it up for Jimmy Clark, the owner of this fine establishment.
How you doing there, Jimmy?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see you.
Thanks for 50 years.
You're welcome. Thanks for hanging around for 50.
This is hockey heaven around here, so this all comes together rather nicely. But one last little trinket. We've got these specialty pucks available. There's only 25 of them made available tonight. See Lauren again, $25, and one of these can be yours. So again, all the money goes back to Ed's charity. I found this out shortly after our last show that Ed left an endowment where he doubles. So our $2,500 turned into $7,500. So I was pretty excited about that. knowing, who we're tied into. Anybody here from Southwest Philly? Anybody?
Me,
Me too.
me.
Me too. All right, let's take it a step further. How about St. Joe's?
Me.
St. Joe. There you go. We got another Hawk in the house.
Hawk will never die.
There you go. How about West Catholic?
Me.
Anybody else? Come on. I was hoping Brian Frill was going to be here tonight, but he had another engagement because he would have checked all those boxes.
Yes, you would have.
But again, if you guys have questions, comments, if you'd like to ask Lou anything, he's pretty wide open and he will give you an honest answer. And Johnny, what do you got, man? You've been quiet over there.
We got greatness here with us in 50 years of Flyers hockey. There's a lot to talk about. So what got you started with the Flyers? Like, or wanting to be a PA guy?
Well, I didn't really want to be a PA guy until I realized I was missing too many goals. The story goes that when I was in grade school, St. Barnabas, I met a kid there, and his uncle was a goal judge, and we went to the Ramblers games, 46th and Market, and we were rink rats. We ran around and got all the broken sticks with the off-ice officials to save them for us, and we taped them up and put our shoe skates on and played hockey and back to the school. And I watched the original six. Not many kids did. And everybody was playing basketball, but I never believed the ball came back to my hand. So I was always watching it. This means that people always took it off me. So, and I also couldn't jump. But in any event, I went down the beach and met a guy named Joe Cadillac, who was the writer for the Daily News. Joe took the PR job with the Flyers. And I said, if you want to, we're out celebrating, having a couple drinks. We had a couple drinks a lot down there in Margate. And I said, if you need anybody to help you, I'll help you. I know a little bit about the game. And he said, well, let's see. So I ran a press box there for about 5 years. Met a lot of great people, met a lot of players. And finally, because there really weren't any TVs now, now there's a TV every 4 feet. There weren't TVs. There wasn't a lot of coverage. So I'm writing and writing and writing and writing, and there's a roar, and it's a goal. So I wouldn't see it, but I'd repeat it in the press area. So I did that. That was my first exposure to talking about goals and assists and things. And, when the announcer left, the guy before me went with the World Hockey Association, Philadelphia Blazers, as their PR man. And I said, I'd like to do that job to Lou Scheinfeld, who was the vice president under Ed's main guy. And he said, okay, we'll see. We'll do a little audition, see what you sound like. And I went down there in the summertime. They were putting the third deck on the Spectrum to raise it up to the 17,000 some level. And I get in there, and there was no ice, and the construction guys had the crane on. So I went over, and I got set up with the microphone. And I asked the guys to turn the crane off. Would you mind? I have the important audition here. Would you turn the crane down? So they turned the crane off. And Scheinfeld said, well, if that doesn't spook you, I know you got the voice. You got the job. My goal when I did the first game was to be there for the second game, John. And sure enough, it worked out, and I'm still there. I mean, it's 50 years worth now. And it went in a flash. I can remember the first game. Just boom, right past. But I've had so much fun. Great hockey fans. Hockey people are great people. So that about sums it up.
Wow, that's awesome.
Lauren, any questions out there? You folks flag Lauren down, and you can check in.
Well, there is a question on Facebook from our boy Jack asking, how do you fix this team?
Okay. Well, I don't blow it up. Some people say we should blow it up. I wouldn't blow it up. I'd hope that Coots comes back healthy. Kevin Hayes came back and played healthy near the end. He was the best player. I'm encouraged by Noah Cates, who is out of college and steps right in. He's got 5 goals already. because he knows where to go. And Carl and I were talking about it. He goes where the puck is and scores. We have young players who are very sharp, and I think some of the veterans will sort of come off their contracts and leave, and our team will get younger. I hope to hell that the guys that are hurt come back and play and play well. So, but I don't know what else I would fix. I'd let Carter Hart be himself. He didn't play badly. He just didn't get a lot of help in front of him. Defense was young, and that's the toughest thing in the NHL is coming in as a young defenseman and learning, because the speed is so much different. Different than college and different than minors. And, that's what I would basically do. I'd cross my fingers, and I don't think I'd sign a lot of free agents. I'd grab a goalie somewhere maybe, but this Sandstrom seems like he's a pretty decent player. But I'd just let Carter do what he does and whatever. I think we were really hurt when Niskanen did not come back. And when, Ryan Ellis went down after 4 games. Because Ellis is a hell of a player. The puck doesn't stay on the stick very long. He gets it, moves it. Instead of getting it, looking around, and by that time the puck it's blocked. This is a fast league.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's for sure.
Lauren, what do you got?
We have a question from the audience.
Hey, Lou, first of all, congratulations on your 50 years.
Thanks. Thank you.
With the exception of the back-to-back Stanley Cup championship with the Flyers, what's your biggest memory in 50 years with the Flyers?
With the exception of the Stanley Cup?
Yes.
You're a smart guy. I would say the second Stanley Cup, but first one was great. Second one's fine. I wasn't in Buffalo, but certainly was in both parades, enjoyed them. I think after that, I have to go to the Russian game. The Russian game was back when I worked with that glass, and I was right involved in the middle of everything that happened there. I was with the Russians when they went downtown, spent the money they had accumulated, the little money the players had. They put G's, they put stereos, and I was there when the guys were off the ice and talking with the referee. The referee said, let's give them a penalty for delay of the game, and that's when they decided they were going to leave because they thought they were wrong when Harmelov ran into his elbow. So I would say that was one. And JJ Daniel put us in the playoffs with his goal because the building just erupted. And it's one of the big things that sent the crackles through the headsets because I'm always on headset. It's just unbelievable cheering. And the first game in the building was when USA won their game in the World Cup of Hockey. So Johnny Leclerc played. He scored, I think. And that was the first game in the new building. So that was a lot of fun.
Silly question. You're talking about buildings, the Spectrum versus, where we're at now. Great memories at the Spectrum?
The best. And I can go back to the day that I drove down there in Game 6 and said, the Bruins are good. And the game went on, and next thing you know, McLeish was tapping in, and it was 1-0. Tipped in that one goal. And near the end, when one of the guys shot the puck from Boston, it went off a pad, one of our guys that went past him, and Clarkey shot past him and grabbed the puck, and he's going in on a breakaway. Bobby Orr pulls him down. It's clear, yanked him down. He gets a penalty. He is livid. He is cursing Art Skov up and down and yelling at him. Skov is the ref. And he is just yelling at him. So he sent him down. Now we're getting down to the point in the game where I say, last minute of play in the third period. And I say to myself, damn, we got a shot here. We could win this cup. And sure enough, we got through it. Mayhem. Low glass, people jumped on the ice. The guys didn't even get a chance to take the puck around. But I did get a good drink from it, along with drinks from a few other things. And I did take it to work. I worked at a bank, PSFS. That's where I met my beautiful wife, Ellen. And yes, that's right. Round of applause for Ellen. And sure enough, I walked in there with the puck. We had it at the Liberty Bell. Joe Cadillac called me and said, "Hey, do you want to take a picture with the Liberty Bell and the cup?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I took the day off, met him downtown. The puck or the cup was strapped in his car in a seat belt, the front seat. We had Lefty Reed with us, who was the curator from the Hockey Hall of Fame. He was the keeper of the cup. None of this white gloves and shine it up and carry it out. I mean, it just showed up. And it came out of its box, and that was that. So I said to Lefty, I said, I work up there with that PSFS. He said, "Yeah, that's pretty neat." I said, "Boy, you should see the girls up there, Lefty. They're terrific." He said, "Maybe we should go up there and take the cup up." I knew Lefty like the back of my hand. He was not a slave to fashion, I wish I could explain it further. And I took the cup into the lobby of the bank. Big lobby, big bank, and just walked in with it. People were astounded. We took it up to my office on the 9th floor, and the word kind of spread, and people started showing up with the cameras you buy at the drugstore, those ones that. Yeah.
Polaroids?
Yeah, Polaroids, yeah, but I mean,
Wait.
it's thematic. It's
You're
thematic.
dating yourself now.
Your hair is not as silver as mine.
No, it's getting there.
Yeah. In any event,
They still sell those, by the way.
They do.
hard to believe. Hard to believe. But all good stuff, and cup was terrific. Terrific.
Excellent.
That night, by the way, the first cup, I had agreed with Fitz Dixon, who was one of the part owners of the Flyers. He bought a lacrosse team, the original game of the Philadelphia Wings. They were a team that came in from Canada. They flew him in for the game. They had one American on the team. His name was Ted Peters, who's a good friend of ours, president of a couple different banks in the area here. He was Bryn Mawr Trust president. Well, lacrosse player, Hartford School, and great guy. He was the one American. They had to have an American. And I remember doing the game, and I was like stiff because it was that night. It was the night we won the cup. Like 3 hours later, I'm going to do a lacrosse game. It wasn't easy, but I got through it. And after that, go to Rexy's, and there's dogs out there and police dogs. It's all blocked off, so I stuck in through the kitchen and joined the fun. All good.
Very good. Hey, do we have anybody that maybe came in recently that we need to go over a few of the ground rules for raffle prizes? Make sure you get your 2 free tickets. Purchase as many as you'd like at $1 a piece. All the money's going back to Ed Snyder's charity tonight. And when I say every dollar, I mean every dollar. We've got Lou's book available tonight. So get with Lauren. Lauren, raise your hand. There you go. Like back in school, right?
If you have to go to the ladies' room, you're allowed. Yeah, that's what that meant.
We've also got some custom pucks available for Lou's 50th.
I signed those too, by the way.
Yes, you did. Fresh ink on them. Fresh ink on them. $25, and you can take one home with you and add it to your collection because it's a gem.
When they're going, they're going.
There you go, right from the man himself. And again, all money goes back to Ed Snyder's charity, which we're damn proud of. So we're looking to make another huge donation tonight. Make sure you get your raffle tickets. Take care of your servers, your bartenders, everybody in Jimmy's place tonight. Hanrahan's Irish Pub here in Delco, Drexel Hill. I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Our presenting sponsor is City Distilling, and Lou will leave here tonight with a fine bottle of vodka.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I saw somebody look up.
I woke that one up there.
So City Distilling, proud sponsor of ours. We're happy to have them on board with the rest of our guys. Abramson and Denenberg in the city, great law firm. The folks here at Hanrahan's, Dagwood's Pub, Campus Close. Who am I missing, Lauren? Did we get everybody? We got everybody. Got to take care of the sponsors. They pay the bills around here.
Absolutely.
By the way, Carl, that the book basically is Pirat the Provorov, and it has stories in it that they're good. They're really good. It's an easy read if Carl could do it on the beach.
Yes, I
That's
can.
for sure.
Yes, I can.
And Bernie Pirat did the forward for me, a great friend. And there's a lot of stuff here that we didn't talk about tonight, and I won't talk about in public, but it's in this book.
Yeah. Well, the night's still young.
Absolutely. That's for
The
sure.
night's still young. How about a little trivia? We seem to do well with trivia around here. Lauren,
Wrong.
5. 5. What was the question?
Doesn't matter. It's wrong.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Lauren, you want to go over the ground rules?
Yeah, just make sure you raise your hand, we'll let the answer, the first person with their hand up, I'll bring the mic to you, you can let us know what you think the answer is.
Alrighty, so how many Stanley Cup Final Series was Lou Nolan the PA announcer for?
How many?
8.
That is correct.
Wow.
That was quick.
You go, Pete.
Yeah.
Outstanding, Pete. Sure is a lot of fun too. Eight great times.
You know, we need a couple more.
Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yes, we do.
Lauren, you ready for another one?
Oh, I'm ready.
All
I'm just
right.
excited that the microphone doesn't feedback
Beep.
when I go past the
There you go. So we got, going on the same lines of being a PA announcer, how many times did Lou Nolan be the PA announcer for the National Hockey Association All-Star Game? Pete, you already answered.
Yeah, Pete, you got one.
2.
That is correct. People are studying here. They're figuring it out and studying Wikipedia.
Yeah, I guess.
So I guess that table's been eliminated. Sorry, Sam, I am.
He's still moving to another table.
Sorry.
Sam's moving around, yeah.
Sorry, Sam, I am.
Yeah, he said, screw that. I'm not with them.
In fact, he's coming here to attack us. What did you say to him? By the way, I looked at these items that are in this auction, and there's a great one of the LCB line, the greatest line in the history of the Flyers, all signed, sitting on the bench. And in fact, I was with Bill Barber just the other day, and Reggie's up in Canada, and Clarkie too. Clarkie was at the walkathon that the alumni did, and that boy was at a great event.
Bobby
That
was
a
just
great
in
event.
town. Yep.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, we've got some great, there's some really nice hockey items. There's a Reggie Leach stat jersey. Speaking of the rifle, can't be many of those out there. So I see the raffle baskets getting a lot of activity. Sue, you okay over there?
I am.
You got your assistants working? All right.
How's my friend Sarah doing out there? Where are you sitting, Sarah? I see your
All the
hand.
way in the back.
Okie dokie. I'm sure you got a good spot.
All right, let's get back to some business. So this one's going to be a little bit on the tough side because we're going to move away from the Flyers for a minute because I know you've met a lot of hockey players in your day.
Yes.
Who was the nicest? Who was the best to have conversation with? One that you could honestly say, wow, I could root for him.
The guy that stands out, other than a Philadelphia Flyer, that's what you mean, right?
Correct.
Is Steve Eiserman. I worked with that blast, and the captains used to come to me and ask for, change an assist or add an assist or whatever. So I got to know Steve pretty well, and just a class guy. And two things really jump out. First, when he was in the box for a penalty, I said to him, would you mind, if you chip a stick tonight, would you sign it for me? He said, sure, no problem. So he scores a hat trick. He is the first star. When I announce tonight's first star, Steve Eiserman, he skates across the ice, gives me the stick.
Wow.
Hands it to me. He says, "Come on up, I'll sign it." Go a little further, he signs it with a regular pen rather than a Sharpie. I don't think we had one. But he's coming in, he's in with Tampa, and he's the GM. And I bring the stick in to get it sort of re-signed. And it's a Louisville, and it's sort of rounded at the edges. Great stick. And so I bring it in, and the players are getting changed in that room, and Steve's in the corner on a computer with a couple guys, and he stands up and feels it and says, "Yeah, Louis," says, I this is great. So he signs it. The players go crazy. They say, "What the hell is that? Look at this thing. It's like a twig, you know?" It was unbelievable. Compared to it's not a club, you know, it's not like some of the sticks were like clubs, some of the Sherwoods and some of the others, Victoriavilles, but it was just a beautiful stick. Another reason, when All Stars here, I guess it was 76, John, I'm not sure what the dates were. We're down on the waterfront in one of the piers, and the NHL's having its little thing where they bring players in, and this is before kids used to chase them all over for autographs, before the advertising got involved, and before Gary Bettman got involved. And not my favorite guy. Well, I know him, but not my favorite guy. So Steve,
I'll scratch that off my guy.
yeah, Steve actually, you know, we're sitting at a table, and Ellen and I, and Cadillacs, and our boys were with me, Matt and Jeff. And Steve came over and sat with us for about 15 minutes. Just talked. And just a great guy, hell of a hockey player. I mean, and now he's
back in
I guess
Detroit.
he's president and general manager of hockey operations for Detroit.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, class act.
They'll be
Class
better.
act.
They'll be better. Believe me, he's smart.
Class act back home where it all got started, right?
Yep, you got it. So what else you got there, Carl?
Well, I'm kind of taken back by the Eiserman because I thought sure as heck, the great one was gonna come out of your mouth.
Gretzky?
Yeah, I gotta have a Gretzky story.
Okay. Well, I have 4 of those in my collection, and Wayne has always been very nice to me, and the best ones were before he was ultra famous, and people were following him around and making sure that nobody could get to him. He didn't have the Secret Service kind of people ushering him down the hallway. But he gave me some sticks and always signed stuff for me. And one time, LA was in town, big snowstorm, like 25, 30 inches of snow. And a window blew out at the Spectrum. And there was some debris blew off the vent, I guess, and came over and smashed through the window. Fortunately, during the period, so nobody was under it waiting for food.
Oh, wow.
So they decided that they would cancel the game, play it later, which meant that nobody could get out, nobody could go anywhere. And Gretz just basically sat around on a chair and shot the shit with everybody, like he enjoyed doing. He was famous already, Carl. But it was before the fame of LA. Before
Sure.
He came from Edmonton, went to LA. Being famous in Edmonton is one thing, if you're the greatest hockey player in the world. But being famous in LA and being the greatest hockey player is another thing. And New York is even another jump. But I like him. I also like Gordie Howe. Gordie was always great to me.
Gordie's a good one.
And near the end, he had a real difficult time with some dementia. And I know Mark, his son Mark, played here. So Gordie always used to attack me from behind and strangle me when I'd be coming up the hallway after he played. Good guy. He played the golf tournaments and all that. We'd always sit down and talk to you. Carl, he had hands. He had hands that were so big, unbelievable. What a strong guy. And if you got on his bad side, it wasn't a good idea.
No, you would definitely get an elbow.
Yeah, wasn't a good idea.
Definitely get an elbow. Lauren, what do you got?
Well, we've got a few questions from Facebook. We'll start with the first one. What type of relationship did you have with Gene Park?
My relationship with Gene Hart was a really good one. I traveled in some of the early years, and we made trips together. We both, I mean, he'd be a teacher coming from Pennsauken High School, and I'd be coming from working in the bank, and we'd take off. We'd grab the charter at 4 o'clock coming out of Philly. We'd be the last couple on the charter and take off for Montreal, Toronto. They were the charters early on. Now everything's charter. So it was a good time. He always helped me do things. For instance, when the Russians were here, he recorded phonetically each Russian player for me. So he would help me. And he also recorded, and I worked with him on the introduction, which I did in Russian and English. Not much of it, but enough of it. But leading up to that, Hockey Night Canada had me in a meeting at their production meeting, and Scott Mellenby's dad, Ralph Mellenby, who was the head producer, said, "Lou, you don't have anything to worry about today. There will only be 215 million people watching the game, so don't screw up." That was the way it was, with guys in network. And I said, "No problem." So here I am. I'm going to do it half in Russian. I mean, the Russians might have known that I found it up, but none of us knew.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Sounded good to us.
Yeah, you loved it, right?
I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, who knew? But names like Vyacheslav Sodolukin can still come off, roll off my tongue because they're great. They're great names. Love them. And I love the French names. Simone Nollet was a great friend and a great name. JJ Dagno. I mean, they just sound sexy when they say them. They do. They're great. So they're my favorite names. So
They like sexy in Delco, right?
why not?
They're too busy eating right now.
Yep.
I don't want anybody to choke on their burgers.
So speaking of names, is there a Flyers player that you particularly like to pronounce?
Yeah, I always liked, obviously, the guys that were the big guys here. But I worked up to a name that was difficult, and that was Yanni Nienema. Now, Yanni Nienema is still waiting for his first correct pronunciation from Gary Thorne, who was with ESPN. Gary just could not do that name. And first couple attempts, I didn't do it well either, but I sort of broke it down to the syllables, and it worked out. But it wasn't my favorite. I don't know. I liked Gagne. I like Simone Gagne. I like, and I had plenty of chances to announce that one too.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
It was a good one.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Any questions out there, folks? This is your opportunity to, get a hold of Lauren. Let's
Yeah,
have
come
some-
on. Ask me something hard.
We do another question on Facebook. I'd like to know if you have any memorabilia from the Stanley Cup years.
Hold on.
My wife just laughed over there. Yeah.
She
Do I have any memorabilia from it? Yeah. I got lots of stuff.
You have my number, right, Ellen?
Yeah, when I kick, I guess we'll send the stuff over to your store.
All right, let's not talk like that.
No.
We got too many good years left.
I like that. Yeah, I do have a lot of things. Could I tell you exactly what they are now? No. I've got lots of pucks that are signed. I got pucks that are signed, all-star pucks signed by the Gretzkys and all those kind of guys. I mean, it's just, if you saw what I had, you'd say, why do you have all this stuff, Lee? Ellen shaking your head, yes. Why do you have them all?
My wife says the same thing about me.
Yeah.
It's in our blood.
Yeah, well, we'll just save things.
Exactly.
But I have a stick collection of about 60 or 70 sticks. I've got a couple of Mews. He was always great to me. A good guy. By the way, I initially thought that he was not such a good guy. He refused to do a commercial for the Flyers Wise Fight for Lives Carnival. I found out later, after spending some time getting to know him, I used to go to Pittsburgh, and I knew the trainers there. It used to be in Chicago. I was introduced to them in Chicago. They went to Pittsburgh, so I used to go after the game, And I would go have a couple of beers in the trainer's room, and Mario always came in and hid. So I got to know him really good there. And I asked him that question, why did you not do that? He says, I could not speak English. I didn't want to be embarrassed. And he was always great to me. I mean, Ellen and I were an all-star in Chicago when he came, was introduced and prepared to come back from his cancer. And after walking down over a lot of players that were just sitting waiting to go on the ice from the way we entered into the building, tickets, I don't know, no tickets. We knew we were supposed to sit. But we're leaving there and we're taking a flight from Chicago, Pittsburgh, Philly. So I go to smoke a cigar back when you could do that in the airport. I go to smoke a cigar in the next area there for planes. And there's Mario. We're sitting in there with his wife. And we get to talking. And it's like, how you doing and all this. And he says, I'm coming back in Philly. I'm really targeting Philly to come back. I said, way to go, man. So spring forward to the game in Philly. We have since traded 3 or 4 guys from Pittsburgh, including Tockett might be there, and Shel Samuelson, Kenny Reggett. So all those guys are there. And I'm coming up from the referee's room, walking toward the locker room area, the press room, to get a coffee after I talk to the refs. And here comes Pittsburgh. Back in the Spectrum, the Flyers came right out of a chute. The visiting team walked all the way down and around and out to Zamboni. So I'm coming up, and here they come. I'm seeing all my buddies. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? And saying hello. The last guy in the line is Mario, and he's dressed. He's going to warm up. And he says, Lou, I told you this was going to be the one. So I said, way to go, Mario. Have fun. And when he came on the ice before the game, when the teams came out after warm-up, when we had the full building, our guys gave him a standing ovation. They stood up for 5 minutes and clapped, and he waved to everybody. I've got a great shot of that, and he signed it for me. And, you know, it's just,
I'm getting
it was
goosebumps.
kind of
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting goosebumps because
I
I
got
can
him too.
remember that night.
I got him
I
too.
can
You were
remember
there,
that
huh?
night in Philly.
Yeah.
Just absolutely phenomenal the way the fans just were all in. They were all in, and it was just a huge night. And, you know, they talked that about, you know, the fans here in Philly and whatnot. And there's been a number of occasions, and that's one of them. That was big.
He always takes the time now when I see him, if he's at the game. I don't know how much he's traveled this year, but he would always take the time when the entourage from Pittsburgh with the wives and whatever started to go to wherever they were sitting. He'd always say, just a minute, and he'd come over and say hello. So, I mean, it was that kind of a good relationship
Very nice.
with a tremendous hockey player.
Very nice. Yeah, he was.
I
He was
mean-
pretty good.
Absolutely.
He was
We
pretty
beat
good.
the odds.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was pretty good. Lauren, where you at? You're out mingling in the crowd? Or you're getting us
I
cocktails?
see her over there.
I got myself a cocktail.
Atta girl.
Attaway.
Atta girl. How about Ellen? Did you get Ellen a cocktail?
She's okay. She shook her head.
Okay. Any questions out there, Lauren? I don't want to get caught up in losing the night.
Lauren's asking for some more trivia.
More trivia.
So,
Here's a question.
Lou, I want to thank you again for all the years you were in Philadelphia with us, all the great times. But I want to preface this by
Sure,
saying
Jim.
I really believe you should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And now you're on the Fire Hall of Fame with the
Well, thanks, Jim. Jimmy, I don't know about any halls of fame. I'd like the Flyers to be in the Flyers Hall of Fame,
Yeah, I think
but the Hockey Hall of Fame is, I don't know about that one. That might be tough.
Here's my question. What direction do you think this team would be in if Mr. Snyder was still in charge? Or any Snyder, but if Snyder was still in charge instead of the corporation, do you think the team would be in a different direction than we're going right now?
That is a difficult question.
I do that.
Yeah. And I said, give me the hard ones, and that is one of the ones. Ed always said, I want the best player available all the time, work it out. Now, before the hard cap, salary cap, you could do that. He sort of forced Holmgren into bringing Brizgalov in. He was the best goalie out there. Well, he was the best goalie at that point. What they didn't know was he was insane. He was crazy. He's probably one of the few guys that Ellen will tell you that I tell people that I don't like. He threw me under the bus a couple times on the air, and and just not a nice guy. He told me one time, I want to put a can out there, people put money in and send Briz to space. I said, that's a good idea. Let's do it. I'll put a 20 in. And but that was not as much Holmgren as it was Ed, because Ed always pressed for the best players. Sometimes to the detriment of long term. I love Ed. Ed is just, all he wanted to do was win. He wanted to win the cup every single year. And I've got a friend of mine named Alphonse, and that's what he says. We're going to win the cup this year. Every year he says, we're going to win the cup. And that's the way Ed was. Ed was always going to win the cup. And it's the guy to work for him. He was great with me. He'd come down the hallway and say, hey, Lou, how are you? I say, great, Ed. And then the guards would look and say, he called him Ed. Well, I mean, I know him for 50 years. I mean, I know his little kids growing up. And so it's a tough question. The difference, I'm not really sure. It's a hard thing to follow somebody that's very successful. Jay Snyder once tried to follow Ed as president, and it was a 5-year disaster. When Dave Zinkoff retired from the Sixers, I got the call, do you want to become the Sixers PA guy? I said, no, because I don't want to follow the Zink.
Right.
And I don't know who follows me, but they're going to have fun. I hope it's somebody I know, and I hope it's somebody good, whatever that is. But High Lit followed the Zink. High Lit. High Ski Rudy McFaddio Zoots, if you recall. So, thanks very much. Another Guinness showed up. I love it. And so, it's hard to say. The salary cap is the biggest detriment to all of it, because you have young players and older players, free agents make a lot of money, eat up a lot of the salary cap, and young guys come in and take the lower part of that cap, at least until their entry contract is through, and then they're going to sign a bigger deal. Not a huge deal, but a bigger deal. So that's the real challenge. Salary cap was the real challenge. But allow teams to make money, and not get out of hand. But they, some of those contracts that the guys that went to Minnesota, I mean, we wanted to sign Suter, right? Defenseman who was from Nashville. And we offered him a ton of money, and he signed for like $9 million a year for 10 years. I said, well, we didn't do that. It'd be crazy to do that. Minnesota did it, figured out a way. And it hurt him for a while, and now he's restructured, and they're getting better, and they're getting better. So the key is to use your young players, like Noah Cates, a kid that came in from college. It's like 12 games now. He's got 5 goals, 5 assists, something like that. He knows how to play. The other guys that'll come in, Brink, good player. He's going to be good. But you have to have patience with him. The toughest is the defensemen that come in have to learn. And that is so difficult for defensemen to learn in the NHL. That's why veteran defensemen are at a premium. Hope I answered your question, Jim. I sort of danced around it, but I got to it.
All right, as the night is winding down, I just want to remind everybody what's available. We've got Lou's book available. See Lauren, please. We've got specials. Excellent. So we got work to do. So
I'll sign those, by the way, however you might want the inscription to be. Whether it's for birthday or Christmas. What month is this?
This is still April.
Okay. Well.
So you got Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up.
Oh, there you go. Mother's Day and Father's Day. Need a gift. One of these might work.
There you go. If these
One of
walls
these
could
might
talk.
work over here too.
We still have a few cups as well.
Okay. Raffle prizes, how we looking?
We're looking good, but if you haven't gotten your 2 free tickets yet, please do so. And then there's additional raffle tickets available for $1, and all that money is being donated back to the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation.
Outstanding organization. Carl, I had no idea that you made a donation like that.
Yes.
And it morphed from 2,500, which is substantial, to 7,500
Yes.
to help kids.
Yep. I spoke to Scott, who runs the
Scott Tharp, sure.
organization, and he made me aware of it. And I said, I'm going to hold off on writing that check because the check's going to get bigger after our event with Lou Nolan. And he was very appreciative. But I want to give a shout out for next week. I believe it's, help me out here, Tuesday night at the Great American Pub.
Yes, Tuesday night, a lot of us from the alumni have agreed to be celebrity bartenders. And I don't know, it's an outdoor event on the roof.
Listen up, folks. There's drinking involved.
Yes, there is, Delco. There's drinking involved. And I will be helping also, but a lot of celebrity bartenders. Take a look on the web, check it out. A lot of guys that you probably want to get to sign something that maybe you haven't had a chance to. One of the best fighting goalies ever, Neil Little.
There you go.
And Litz is great, and he'll be there. And Sam Carchidi, who co-wrote my book, will be there. All kinds of guys.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now. It looks like Bernie Perron, Joe Watson, Bob Kelly, Brad Marsh, Glenn McNown, Al Morgan, and Lou.
Hey, outstanding.
And that's the Great American Pub in Wayne.
So if you've been trying to get a Bernie autograph, maybe you have. If you have a Bernie goalie stick, like I do now. My wife gave me one for a present. I didn't get one for Bernie, but she gave me one for a present. Bernie signed it. She and my boys gave me a Bernie stick. Yes, you did. You don't remember that, huh? Oh yeah, you did. It's what I didn't have. So I have a lot of good goalie sticks.
So you're part of this.
And she helps. She helps. And that's not an easy autograph to get. So Bernie will be there, and his lovely wife Judy will be there. I'm sure.
Today's her birthday. Let's give her a
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Happy
Jeannie
birthday,
Perron,
Jeannie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yep.
Beautiful lady, beautiful heart. She's terrific.
26, I think she was today.
I'm bad with numbers.
It
But
runs in the family.
Again, Hanrahan's Irish Pub. We're here every month. We're this fan's view. We're also part of Carl's Cards and Collectibles, who help us out with all this fine memorabilia. You guys, if you're Super Bowl collectors, Lane Johnson will be in the store on Saturday.
Yes.
Lane Johnson for the Eagles?
That is correct.
Whoa, outstanding. Saturday, huh? What do we got, a wedding Saturday? You can't be there, Carl. And let me tell you a little bit about Carl's Cards. If you have not been,
Let me get the money out. Hold on.
you gotta go. It is a candy store for all of us that love sports. It is unbelievable. And the guys that run it are cool guys, for the most part, except for John. But it's a good bunch. It's a real good bunch. So go there, Eagle Road. Go.
All right, Lauren, what do we need to work on?
We need to do some trivia.
Trivia.
We're getting the evil eye from her.
Here we go. It's trivia time. Get your arms ready.
Okay, listen up.
All right, so who replaced, or who did Lou Nolan replace as the PA guy for the Flyers?
Who did Lou Nolan replace?
Kevin Johnson.
That is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
There you go. Winner.
I thought that table was eliminated.
Individual people have been eliminated.
Exactly.
Okay, what else you got?
All right, so in 2004, 2005, during the NHL lockout, I didn't even answer the question yet. Sam's got his answer up. His hand up. All right, which team did Lou be the PA announcer of?
The Fans.
There you go. I think that whole table now has a
Ding, ding. Everybody's won now.
They're cut off. We got the word pumping up the front here.
Sam has Googled every one of those answers we fed down.
All
Way to
right.
cheat, school teacher.
You do that stuff with two thumbs? How does anybody do that with two thumbs? Work their phone. I'm like a hunting pet guy. I mean, half the time it's wrong. The messages I send out, the spelling,
All right,
it changes
so
my words.
here we go. We had a special request. Lauren, you want to do the honors?
Well, we got a special request, of course, for a Pico power play.
This does not come cheap, you know. Maybe a donation would be a good idea.
Yes.
There you go.
Get your wallet out, or I'll send the bill to the guy who asked for it.
And I don't do these on demand like this. However, and the Flyers are going on the Pico Power Play. That has its own life. It's amazing. It's amazing. First time I did it, producer told me that we're sponsored. I said, Flyers are going to the Pico Power Play. He said, no. It's got to have more juice. So we worked up to what it is now, and
That's a lot of juice.
it's my only cheerleading that I do, I think. At
Uh,
least I like to think that.
you
I don't
do
want to be a
You do
cheerleader.
a hell of a job. Where are we at these days? I know you were out of the booth for a while. Are you back down?
Well, I am back down for the final home game as a result of us just being rebels and not doing what the NHL tells us to do. Dave Scott, our chairman, said, you're going down for this game. I also went down for that celebration of my 50th. So I'll be down there tomorrow. What happens next year? I don't know. I'd like to be there. That's where I ought to be. You don't miss calls because referees don't make them like the guys in the NFL. They like skate by and dribble something out, and you're supposed to figure out what it is. I don't even know. I can't tell. I'm like 1,000 feet away. It gets to be crazy.
Johnny, you got anything that you need to add, subtract, delete? What do you got? You've been awful quiet tonight.
Well, I can't get in the way of
Wow,
stories here.
it's 50 years of greatness.
50 years, you got to let them go.
Absolutely.
I know we've had some, you've been up and close with some of the fan interaction with the players, independently boxed and stuff. What was any of, can you give us some good stories? And the fighter.
One in particular, John, and that would be when Ty Domi came in with Toronto. We knew the series was going to be bad and tough. And if you survived that series, the next series you'd get beat because you're a mess. And Ty got a penalty, came in. They had raised the plexi. I know plexi, not glass, plexi behind the penalty box. But they didn't raise the stanchions that hold the plexi in place. So there was about 18, 24, 36 inches worth of plexi was like moving back and forth. Not good. And we didn't realize it until the guy leaned against it. He was about 250 pounds. And bingo, it snapped right on there. He went in the box. Domi pulled his jacket over his face and hit him a couple times in the head. The linesman jumped in. Gordy Brasiker was the linesman, and he never allowed a fight to happen. He would always jump in and grab one guy, and then the other guy would hit the other fellow twice. He never waited. He jumped in. And Gordy got in the middle of that one, and it was just a mess. Ty and the young fella have since become friends, quote unquote friends. And Ty's had them up to Toronto, and they talk to one another.
Right.
That's about all I could say.
Yeah. That was the story I was hoping for.
Yeah, that was.
I don't even slipped my mind there for a moment, but I do remember that moment yesterday.
Yeah, so
He
do
was a
I.
Delco boy.
Yeah, figures. He didn't like being squirted. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that
Hey,
was classic.
before we close out, I want to throw it over to Lauren for some closing comments about Humane Pennsylvania, which she is a big contributor. She helps run that organization. So Lauren, give us a couple of minutes.
Sure, so, everybody tonight at the tables, you guys have a brochure that says Walk for the Animals on it. That's happening next Saturday, May 7th, up in Reading, Pennsylvania. So if you're in the area or want to swing by, we're still taking registrations for anyone who's interested in walking. Even if you're not, you can head to the website, humanepa.org, and make a donation in honor of that. That's our big fundraiser for our 45th annual. So this is
Oh, no.
a long time now. And we're really excited to have this next Saturday to kind of be back in person with everyone. So if you have a dog, even if you don't have a dog, you're welcome to swing by. There's lots of dogs there. But that's our annual walk next Saturday.
Absolutely.
Take Ellen out to dinner.
There you go.
Yep.
Ellen is going to take you out to dinner. We just made a deal. You drop off the Bernie Perrant stick, and he's going to take you out to dinner.
I thought you wanted one of the Wayne Gretzky's.
No, I'd rather have the Perrant game used.
Oh, I didn't realize it was game use yet.
Of course.
Yeah, there you go.
2 of the 4 Gretzky's are being used too.
I know, but I still want the
The
Perrant.
grind, yeah.
All right, here's your closing comments. Anybody, questions? This is your chance. 50 years of greatness. He's right up here.
Come on, dig deep. We got plenty of bucks still here to go into a good charity. So let's go.
Yep, all the money tonight goes back to the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation.
Don't be timid. I'll answer most questions, even though I danced around Jimmy's. Yeah, it was a good question, yeah.
We could take up another hour.
Absolutely.
There's just tons and tons of good flyer. Let me hear your closing comment on a Ron Hextall. Just as a player, as a GM, what was your thoughts?
I really loved Ron. I saw him a couple nights ago. He was in with Pittsburgh, and we talked, had a little chat. He's a terrific guy, quiet off the ice, and just the dichotomy of that is he was just like crazy on the ice. You know, I mean, there's a guy that attacked Chelios, went from his net to attack goalies, and one of the great things with Ron, when I put him in the Hall of Fame at center ice, was I arranged for the goal to be brought up next to the carpet and all the things we were giving him. And I have one of his sticks he signed for me, and I brought the stick in, and he laid it on top of the goal when he brought it up. And I said to Ron, Ron, one last time, let's hear you ring off the post and stand in front of there and do what you do every time. He looked at me, and he got the stick and went, bop, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. And he once said to me, he said, that was the most fun of the whole thing, was doing that and remembering that. So he's quite a guy. I wish him all the luck with Pittsburgh, but not against us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
How about it? All right.
Our team wasn't patient enough
No,
with Ron.
not at
So,
all.
hey,
Not
this is
a
what it
little
is.
bit. Lauren, what do you got?
We had Carl had Ray Fuhrer a couple weeks ago at the store, and one of the guys, Tom, we were joking with Grant, and said, you know, if Tim Kerr was playing in that '87 series, we would have beat you. And he kind of agreed almost. It was close to agreeing. He's like, yeah, we would have definitely made it tougher.
Current pool in both.
Right.
Remember that very well.
Yeah.
And I have a stick from that winning streak of his in my collection, game used. And I don't know, you still want the Bernie stick, right?
That's number one.
Yeah, he
We got
definitely-
we got one last question right here.
Your favorite student is
Let me hear what that's about.
Yeah.
Terry Ashby story.
Oh, Ashcan. Well, Barry was very intense and terrific defenseman who really, you know, labored in the minors with Hershey for a long time before he had a chance to come up to the NHL. I know his family very well. I knew him very well. And I was present at Madison Square Garden when he blocked that shot and got hurt. Never played again. Once he got to once they wheeled him off, I helped wheel him into the room. They turned the lights out. And Doc said, turn the lights out. He was with us. And put his little flashlight on and moved the towel off. And he said, everybody out. Everybody had damaged eye socket and eye. And he just, it had to be something special. We had to work with him. He was a big guy, great stick. I liked him a lot, and I felt bad. It was quick. He passed quick. He was diagnosed with leukemia. 2 weeks later, we were going to a ceremony for him. Very, very sad time with Ash Candy. But thank you. That's a really good question. Great flyer.
All right, as we close this great show out, it's another month. Next month, the 25th of May, we will have William Thomas from the Philadelphia Eagles here. So we're going to change sports a little bit, change things up a little bit, but you need to follow us at This Fan's View. We got a lot of really cool things going on. I want to thank Lou for coming out tonight. This is special. Lou was our very first guest.
Yes, he is.
Numero uno for us way back when this whole project started. We had no idea it was going to grow into this. So this is a special night for us personally, for me personally. He's a friend of the store. He's a friend of the family. He's a friend of yours. That's just the way it goes. That's why he's here. He's a great ambassador for the game of hockey, for the Philadelphia Flyers. And can I get a big hell yeah for Lou Nolan?
John, Carl, Sue, Lauren, all you guys, Anthony, I really appreciate you asking me to be here. I appreciate being out and having fun like this because I really do have fun when I do these things. And you can count on the fact that I'll be wandering in the store here and there and looking for stuff. So, but I'm not going to bring the Bernie stick with me. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate very much.
Thank you. Thank you.